Hey, Eagles fans, if you're a subscriber to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, you are already registered to win a pair of season tickets for the upcoming season. That's right, you could win a pair of season tickets for the upcoming 2021 season just for being a subscriber. If you're watching and you're not a subscriber, do it now. Subscribe to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel right now. What do you need to do? Subscribe right now. Football 24/7 with John McMullen across the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. It's Monday, the day after. What have we learned from yesterday's victory? A final score again, the Eagles win it yesterday, 32-6. NFL insider John McMullen trying to get out of Atlanta, joining us now from the airport. When you're the hottest commodity in the market, Johnny Mac, your days get longer and your nights get shorter. People waiting for your opinion now as we digest and kind of consumed game one, kind of put it in the rear view mirror and look ahead now as we get into the start of week number 2. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Hartsfield Airport is crowded. I've learned that even in COVID times. But, we'll get on the flight soon back to Philadelphia. And obviously, it's a joyous time for the city. I don't think anybody saw that coming. I've kind of said it pretty consistently. I thought the Eagles had a chance to win the game. I thought it would be a one-score game late. Thought they had more talent than Atlanta. But, it was really, really an impressive performance, particularly by the head coach and the quarterback. And obviously that was the two main questions everybody had about that particular team, the uncertainty at the two most high-profile positions. And I think it worked out beautifully because you had a head coach who took advantage of the skill set of his quarterback, and I can't give Nick Sirianni enough credit. Now it gets tougher from here because all of a sudden you have adjustments, and Nick talked about that at his press conference this afternoon. When he was talking about things like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside's blocking. Well, now it's on tape and now it's on film, and opposing defenses will see, okay, he was in there to block. So if you just use him to block, they know what you're going to do. So we mentioned we got to get him the football at times as well moving forward. So he's already thinking about adjustments because he knows defenses are going to adjust. And that's a good thing because he's aware of it. And as silly as it sounds, he kind of talked about you never want to be third and long in the red zone and how obvious that is. Well, it seems obvious that coaches should do these types of things, but you watch NFL games and they don't do these types of things. So the fact that he's verbalizing it, I think is a pretty good sign.
Yeah, really good stuff. Great way to analyze head coach Nick Sirianni's first crack at coaching in a game when it counts. And it obviously felt good for him yesterday, his Monday after press conference this afternoon. Sounds like it was more about business, more about what to do next, what we learned or how we can craft our next step and take our next step forward. We did learn, Johnny Mac, that Jalen Hurts can play in this league. If there was any doubt, he proved it yesterday. This coach-quarterback combo, working off each other's strengths, might prove to be pretty tough to beat. I don't know. As you said, it's now on tape.
Yeah, we're going to see. They're going to have a good test this week with San Francisco coming in because we know that's a good team. We don't know how good. They might, the ceiling of that team might even be Super Bowl contender. I don't think it's quite that high, but we know they're a good football team. And We don't know that about the Atlanta Falcons. In fact, they could be a really bad football team, and they could be one of the worst in the NFL, to be honest, from a talent perspective. So this is a big step up in class. And if they have a similar performance, obviously, which is probably a little bit too much to ask for, even though it's going to be at Lincoln Financial Field, obviously, then you're really cooking with something. Um, if they find a way to win the football game, it's even good. Um, but I do think, it's going to be a battle of strength versus strength with the Eagles' offensive line against the 49ers' defensive line, which is one of the best in football. In that 49ers running game, I always talk about Kyle Shanahan. Nobody has a more complicated running scheme than he does. It's the best in football. And, if we saw one potential weakness for the Eagles early in the game against Atlanta, and we saw it throughout the preseason as well, to be honest, was their inability to stop the run. So I think this is a good test, and we're going to have a much better indication of what the Eagles are, and if they have an opportunity to be a really good football team or just sort of a 500 team that's going to look good one week, maybe look bad the next, and go from there.
Johnny Mac, I know we're going to bounce around a little bit because it's not going to be a great lengthy report because, as you mentioned, you're sitting at the airport trying to get out of Atlanta so you can get home and catch some sleep so you can wake up and do it all over again with Birds 365 right back here tomorrow morning on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. I did want to ask you about Gannon and his ability to adjust yesterday in the second half. Was it adjustments being made by Gannon in that second half compared to the first half? Or was it just the complexion of the game had changed and the defensive line, they were just able to pin their ears back and go?
Yeah, I think it's more the latter. I don't think he changed up much of what they were doing. He was going multiple, showing three, four fronts, three-man fronts, doing some different things from that perspective early. I think the tackling sharpened up. I think that was part of it. But once the Eagles scored at the end of the half with the Dallas Goedert touchdown, and then they got the 2-point conversion as well, um, then the game became out of reach because Atlanta couldn't do anything from the perspective of blocking those guys up front. And Javon Hargrave specifically, I mean, he might have had his best game as a pro. He just completely dominated. Watching it again today on on TV, the TV version, and he just dominated. Uh, and he had a great summer, and that shouldn't be a surprise because he looked primed to have a really big year. And Atlanta has a really weak interior offensive line. So again, that's going to be a much better test because San Francisco's offensive line is pretty good. Uh, and as I said, their defensive line is pretty good. So it's their defensive line is actually really good. So it's going to be strength versus strength.
Johnny Mac, when you watch the television version of the game today versus the live version of the game last night in Atlanta, comment on the offensive line, that wall in front of Jalen, the ability for Jason Kelce to get down the field, I thought was fun to watch. The crushing block from Jordan Mailata was pretty cool to see after that big deal. But all in all, with the exception of a few false starts and maybe a little bit of inconsistency there at one point when the clock ran out, I saw Jalen clapping for the football from Kelce and then saw them later on chatting. Looked like they were perhaps chatting about it on the sideline. What did you make of it? What did you see about that wall in front of Jalen Hurts? They helped him have a really good game yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right about the highlight plays, but I know Jeff Stoutland well enough that he's not going to write off those false starts and those penalties. I mean, he's going to be angry about that, and that's part of the reason that he's such a good offensive line coach, and he develops these guys and turns them into the players you see. But I know it from talking to him about Jordan Mailata, because Jordan maybe has the biggest highlights of anybody as an offensive lineman. When he makes a big play, a big block, it really stands out because he's so big and strong and athletic. And then you'll go back to Jeff Stoutland. I said this on Birds 365, and I'll say he's got to be more consistent. That's Jeff Stoutland. He's not worried about the good plays. He's worried about the bad plays. And that's one of the reasons the Eagles' offensive line is so good. So, um, yeah, they got to sharpen it up, and they did. And they had 5 penalties in the first half. I think only one in the second half. But that's part of not playing in the preseason, not playing together in the preseason, and that'll get better as it goes on. But we've been saying if they're healthy, they're a top 5 offensive line, and
Football
if they're
20,
healthy on the defense, top 5 defensive line, and that's why I had them at a 500 team, even without certainty at the quarterback position, even without certainty at the head coaching position, because I always say it, I say it constantly. If you can block people and you can rush the passer, you can win games in this league. Um, and the Eagles have a good foundation. And that's why I think the local guys, the local people that cover this team every day, knew they were going to be better than the national people expected.
Football 24/7 with John McMullen across the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. When John McMullen departs at the very end of this broadcast, we'll update you on our season ticket holder giveaway. 2 last questions, Johnny Mac, before I let you get ready to board your flight back to Philadelphia, and do have a safe trip back to Philadelphia. And once again, shout out to a couple of JAKIB Media subscribers on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, bumping into you in Atlanta and giving you props for your work. I love to hear it, and it was great to hear it a second time around. So thanks to our subscribers for acknowledging the work that you do. I want to ask you about Miles Sanders and Kenny Gainwell. Pretty good looking 1-2 punch yesterday. It was great to see Miles. I don't even remember if Miles Sanders took a snap in the preseason, but it was great to see that 1-2 punch. Great to see Gainwell on the field for as much time as he had as well, adding into the formula that all of the playmakers on offense for this football team are all young.
Yeah, they are. And certainly at the wide receiver position, especially, we have a rookie and 2 second-year players. But Miles is still very young. Kenny Gainwell's a rookie as well. The tight ends are a little bit more entrenched, obviously. Certainly Zach Ertz and Dallas has now been around for a while. But, yeah, as a group. And, I asked Shane Steichen last week about Jalen Hurts being able to grow together with Devontae Smith and Jalen Reagor and Quez Watkins, and I asked him, "Is that kind of overblown?" And he said, "No, not at all. If you sort of grow together from that same point, that's when you get really special things happening." And that's how he explained it. And it's very early. And again, I think I think next Sunday's game is going to be so important because we know what the opponent is. And look, I don't want to I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, but Atlanta's got a bad football team, and the Eagles took advantage of it, and they deserve all the accolades because they really took care of business. Um, but things are going to get tougher, and they're going to get tougher starting this week. We have this run of San Francisco and Dallas, and then Tom Brady's coming in, Patrick Mahomes is coming in. I mean, it's really going to ramp up, and we're really going to get a feel for what this team is.
And as you say, Johnny Mac, as we end your segment here tonight on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, now there is tape and now there is film, but really good and really encouraging to hear some of your comments about head coach Nick Sirianni at his day after press conference. Quickly, John, schedule for the rest of the week in terms of for the players. Are they off tomorrow, back to work Wednesday? What does it look like for the upcoming week?
They actually just sent me the schedule while we're doing this, so I haven't looked at it yet.
Okay.
But yeah, typically Tuesday is the players' day off, especially after a win. And then Wednesday is the big practice day, and you get back into the full longest practice of the week. Thursday, Friday, practice. Saturday is a walkthrough, and Sunday is the game.
And there,
Typical NFL week.
and there was nothing significant on any sort of post-game injury report that we don't know of, correct?
No, JJ Arcega-Whiteside. I don't know if everybody caught. He got a little bit of an ankle injury. I think he's going to be fine. Zach Ertz had a hamstring, but he came back in the game. Marcus Epps is the one. He's in the concussion protocol. So sometimes, concussions vary from week to week, but usually more often than not, it's tough to get back in 1 week from that. But we'll see. He's a young player, doesn't have a history of concussions. He might even be able to get through it in a week. So that we'll get a better feel for that by Wednesday.
And that was early in the game yesterday. I got so caught up in everything else as it played out. I completely forgot that watching him go into the tent and then actually with that report of going into concussion protocol. Johnny Mac, great stuff. A great 18 plus hours of work by you in covering this football team for the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Travel safe, my friend, and enjoy that walk with your puppy when you get home.
I can't wait for that. That's the best part.
All right, good stuff from John McMullen here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, our Monday night edition of Football 24/7. We'll say goodbye now to John McMullen. And as we close out the video, watch this video. It's an update in case you missed it on our Eagles season ticket holder giveaway and our big special live broadcast on Friday night, the 17th. It begins at 7 p.m. right here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. 2 season tickets, 1 winner for all 8 games beginning on Sunday. San Francisco comes into town. You'll be there for San Francisco. You'll be there for Kansas City. You'll be there for Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In fact, you'll be there for all 8 games during the 2021 season. While I have a couple of minutes left, I will let you know the details, some of the details. One, as we put out on the video, you must follow all of the rules. The rules are simple. You must be subscribed. In the video, which is pinned to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, you must confirm on the link below the video that you are subscribed. Easy, right? Go to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, watch the video, which is pinned on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Confirm in the link of that video while watching the video that you are a subscriber. Of course, you must be present on Friday night. You must be on the YouTube channel. You don't have to be from the Philadelphia region to win if you're a subscriber, but you must be present on Friday night. And then also in that video, everybody received a warm invitation to join me out at Screwball's Sports Bar in King of Prussia. If you're from the Philadelphia region, it's our Thursday night football countdown to kickoff. We'll be live at Screwball's from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. All kinds of prizes and giveaways and some cool stuff that we'll do out at Screwball's. We're going to actually be there every Thursday night for the next 15 weeks. So glad to be part of getting out on a Thursday night leading into Thursday night football on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. That begins this Thursday. One of the things we will do is register people for our giveaway. We're sending 2 people to Las Vegas. The Raiders, of course, playing tonight. You'll see how animated and crazy that stadium is going to be. And if you've looked at the price of tickets for that Eagles game in October, the prices are through the roof. We're sending 2 people to that game. Got all kinds of good stuff with your trip. We'll get you out there. We'll get you back. And we begin registration for that event at Screwballs on Thursday night. That's going to be a little bit different. That's not just going to be, hey, you need to be a subscriber to qualify. Got a lot of cool stuff leading up to what will be one of our coolest trips of the year. We also have tickets home and away for our NFC East opponents. That means in Dallas, in Washington, and in New York. And some more Devontae Smith jerseys, Jalen Hurts jerseys. A lot of good stuff coming your way on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Thanks so much to all of our subscribers this weekend who provided some great energy on the channel. The live post-game show with Derek Gunn, Mark Farzetta, Devin Caney, Lane Johnson, and of course, John McMullen had a fantastic kickoff on Monday, fueled by that Eagles victory. Shout out to 6abc.com. We debuted on 6abc.com, our YouTube channel, and had a tremendous amount of results and a tremendous amount of new people checking in on the JAKIB Media channel. So super excited about that. And we've got some interesting tweaks that we're planning for the live post-game show. And then, of course, last night, the post-game show was a hit as well. Even though Dan Cilio stood us up for dinner, that's okay. We'll catch up with the big host of the National Football Show here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. That's going to do it for this Monday night, the day after the big win yesterday. What did we learn? John McMullen laid it out all for you. On behalf of all of our viewers and subscribers, on behalf of John McMullen, our executive producer, Xander Krause, I'm Joe Krause. See you tomorrow, everybody. If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.